Welcome, Casselberry. It is now time to have a casual conversation for the beneficial good of our community. The show you are about to listen to is called What's Up, Casselberry? And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you your hosts, Andy and Drew, along with producer Robin.
What's up, podcast listeners? It's Andy and Drew here, back in the studio with episode number 117 of the What's Up, Casselberry podcast.
Drew, it's so good to be back. I'm excited to record this episode on the back of our last episode as well. And you and I were texting back and forth, and you told me that you liked the episode and you felt it was a little punchy. And at first, I'm like, did we cross the line? Was some of my comments a little bit too sarcastic? But then you explained that punchy is good.
I did, yeah. It's kind of like the 90s version of Fly, maybe. I don't know. I've got
no idea what that reference means.
I don't really know where I was going with that. No, the episode last week was really good. Robin and you and I had a good banter. I think we've learned, and on listener, we do not have our producer on live with us like we do very often. And there's just a certain flow and camaraderie that the three of us share when she's on with us. But yeah, it was a good episode. Well worth the listen. Colleen Hufford, who is probably as close to Casselberry royalty as comes, was our special guest and well worth listening to. She talked about Earthfest. Andy, we are going to talk about Earthfest with our guest today. There's lots and lots of things happening. In fact, I think today, as of this recording, April 21st, is Earth Day, is it not?
I believe it is. Yes. So we are recording on the right day. And also, this has got nothing to do with Earth Day, but you mentioned Casselberry royalty. Well, today is actually the Queen's 96th birthday as well.
There
which
you go.
Is important to me and my British people.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful for a long Queen. But yes, today is Earth Day. Let's talk about Earth Day.
Absolutely. Well,
Happy
to
birthday,
start,
creation.
Yeah. Is that what we're celebrating here?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You opened a can of worms. Speaking of worms, though, my son and wife took a sweet little picture. They went over to a friend's house, and because he's a toddler and we're friends with families of toddlers, a bunch of toddlers got together and they made dirt pie. Are you familiar with dirt pie?
You know, I have heard of dirt pie as a dessert, though, with like chocolate pudding and those gummy worms.
That's exactly right. It was chocolate pudding. It was crunched up Oreo cookies, and it was gummy worms. And my son was eating Oreos at like 9 a.m. So we're going to see how he does later on today.
Man, if Becky's got any of that left over, you tell her she can drop it off. That's
I will. I'll
have it for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, Earthfest is a special remembrance of just taking care of the environment, looking after our Earth. And in Casselberry, I'm very proud. I know you're very proud too. We've served as MCs at the annual city-run Earthfest event there at Lake Concord Park. It's just around the corner. As of this recording, it will be on Saturday, April 30th, all day long there at Lake Concord. And so check it out, listener. As of this recording, walk around the park, recycle. I think I know the day I was in charge or kind of helping MC Earthfest, there were like no trash cans, right? It was all recycling in the different bins.
That's right.
And people give away trees and plants, and it's just a good time to be had.
It is. And it's such an important reminder as well that we are stewards of the earth, right? It has been passed on to us by other generations, and we have a responsibility to pass it on to future generations. So I'm looking forward to celebrating that with you.
I am too. And I think it's now time, Andy. It's time for our weekly.
I wish it was annual.
It is time for the dad joke of the week. I could have made an annual flower joke there, something, but it fell flat. All right, here we go. Do you have some Doug jokes, Sandy?
I do just have a couple. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll rattle off. I got three. And mine are all related to the 90s. I'm feeling nostalgic, Andy. I'm going back to my childhood before I was a dad and just thinking about my childhood growing up in the 90s. Here we go. Andy, what was Forrest Gump's initial AOL password? Did you have an AOL account?
I never did have an AOL account. I had a Juno account. Do you remember Juno?
Oh, yeah.
Juno was like the free version, Juno.com.
Okay.
But actually, my in-laws still have an AOL account, and I still know some people who have AOL accounts and are paying for AOL accounts. I want to introduce them to Gmail. But no, I don't know what Forrest Gump's first AOL password is.
It was one, Forrest, one. The number one Forrest. One.
We took a long time to get there.
Yeah, we did. All right, these two are quicker. Here we go. I was a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, the fast-moving hedgehog there, bright blue. What does Sonic the Hedgehog wear when he goes to the beach, Andy?
Hang on a sec. He's a pretty fast guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I will let you deliver your punchline, dropping a clue there.
He wears a Speedo. A Speedo.
There you go.
All right, and then I didn't deliver the punch, or I didn't give you the punchline in the notes on this last joke. Andy, what do you use if you were going to make boot soup? What do you use as the ingredients?
Boot soup. I don't know. Something about soul? Something with some soul?
Right idea, right concept. It's Birkenstock.
Oh.
There you go. Those are my jokes, 90s themed. All right, what are yours? Give me some.
All right, let me give you some Doug jokes. Just to clarify, they are Doug's and not mine. Doug reminded me this week that the shovel was a groundbreaking invention.
I like how you had to preface with these are Doug's jokes, not mine, because you know they're bad. You know they're lame today.
Well, actually, I did get a Doug joke that was lame. And I called him on it, and I think he was offended. His lame joke was the guy who invented the TV remote controllers died. He had to be buried between two cushions on a sofa. Which was lame. All right, but one more, though, because I was talking to Doug seriously about whether he could run for political office on the back of his dad jokes. And he said he thought about it, but the reason he doesn't run for political office is because he's against capital punishment.
Oh, there you go. Capital punishment. Oh, boy. Well, listener, that's maybe not our best efforts, but hey, we're here to entertain. We're here to provide some levity in the times we find ourselves. But we're actually more than dad jokes, more than just silly banter back and forth. We are about all things Casselberry, Florida, and we've got some news for you. Andy, you shared with me a recent news report you found on the internet, and I loved this. This is a feel-good story highlighting our emergency response teams. The story has it that recently, an 11-year-old Casselberry resident had to call 911, right? He was home and his grandmother was ill. And so he called the local dispatch station 25, the fire station in Casselberry responded and came by and took care of the grandmother. I'm not sure exactly what the emergency was. I'm assuming maybe she'd passed out or had some kind of medical condition, but Station 25 responded. Grandmother's okay. And the young man received a special award, which is pretty cool.
Yes. I love this story. In fact, I can kind of get into the head of this 11-year-old because I can imagine how much his heart was pumping and beating as he called 911. You know, I remember the first time I had to call 911. And you're like, oh my goodness, I hope I don't mess this up. But yeah, that's awesome. I love that he took the initiative to do that. I love that he knew what to do. And I love that our local fire department is celebrating for his bravery. I understand as well that his grandmother is doing well. And so good job, young man.
That's right. And he actually was awarded apparently the firefighter of the day.
Nice
badge and certificate. So well done. Yep. I'm going to give a shout out to our Casselberry Elementary leaders and our South Seminole Academy leaders for raising young men, young women who have the wherewithal, the knowledge and the wisdom to do those things. So well done all the way around. That's a win. All right. We are going to take a break and we will be back with a rockin' good interview.
The following sponsor is a local business in our community that you should support. This week's episode of What's Up Casselberry has been brought to you by...
I want to tell you about our friends at Full Circle Real Estate and Management. Lynn Brecken is a dear friend of Andy and I's, and Lynn has been involved in the Casselberry community for many years. Lynn serves on the board as the treasurer for the Chamber of Commerce here in Casselberry. And professionally, her and her team at Full Circle Real Estate and Management work with buyers, sellers, and investors. They offer a full range of management services. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or have them perhaps help you manage the sale or purchase of a home, please reach out to Lynn and her team. Their website is myfullcirclerealestate.com. You can email Lynn at lynnne@myfullcirclerealestate.com or give them a call at 407-921-3763. Lynn is a great person and will work to do everything she can to help you. Check them out, Full Circle Real Estate and Management.
Listeners, welcome back to the best part of the show, because Drew and I turned down our volume and turned up the volume on someone much more interesting than us. Today, we are thrilled to welcome back April Esler. April, incidentally, was actually, I think, our first ever guest on episode 2. She runs the Happenings in Casselberry page. She's very involved in our community. And today, though, we're going to talk with her about a project that she leads and oversees called Casselberry Rocks. Again, they have their own Facebook page. You may have heard of them in our community, and it's just a fun way to share some kindness, bring a little bit of joy to those in our community. So, April, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for that amazing warm welcome. Thank you.
Oh, well, that's we can do warm welcomes. The questions are really lame, so we kind of cover them with a warm welcome.
That's fair.
A few icebreaker questions, April, just to kind of reintroduce you to some of our listeners, as our audience has changed and grown significantly since you were last with us. I think on episode 1, there were 3 listeners, and that was me, you, and Drew. Now we have a few more. So some icebreakers. First of all, what is your favorite place to eat in Seminole County?
Can I do 2?
Absolutely.
That's, like, my anxiety is through the roof right now if you're making me choose one. Oy. Okay, so 2, and I'm just going to say Alex's Fresh Kitchen, 100%. Like, a lot of, well, not a lot, excuse me. What some people don't realize is that I have a lot of food allergies. And so Alex's Fresh Kitchen is like, I know everything is up to code. I know all the food is, non-processed and stuff like that. And then for my second one, this is funny, Victorio's. In Longwood, actually. We've gone to the one by the Space Coast, but the one in Longwood, I don't know what it is. I get their French fries and they're perfect every time. I know. I'm simple. I know.
Well, April, just a little insight. Doesn't your neighbor or landlord, or isn't there some connection? Yeah. Doesn't he kind of run it or own it or something?
She's actually, my next door neighbor is the general manager for the Longwood location.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't even really talk to her. I talk to her husband more.
Yeah, I have met him a couple of times too. He's a nice guy with a nice little sports car too, if I remember.
Yes. Yes. He bought himself a Mustang, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, that's cool.
Nice. All right. That's a good plug. I have been to Alex's Fresh Kitchen, and I would totally agree. Authentic. It's pure. It's excellent. Have not been to Victoria's though. I'll have to check that out soon. April, tell me about your favorite park. I see you and your family out. Your boys are always running around the different parks. Do you have a favorite and a reason for a favorite park?
I would have to really, oh man. Okay. So I have some deep rooted memories of Casselberry Parks because I grew up here. Secret Lake Park, I would say probably because they used to have a teen center way back in the day. I don't even think like a building's back there or anything anymore, but that was always my favorite place. And I like the way they've redone it. I like the way that they are constantly, honestly, improving it. I feel like every time I'm out there, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks like an awesome upgrade. I would say Secret Lake Park, even though Weir's Park, I think it was like Stephen Worley. He kissed me while a dive-in movie. Okay.
Nice.
I was like 14. Okay. And I was
your roots run deep there, April.
Wow. First kiss at Worst Park. How about that?
No, that wasn't my first kiss. My second kiss.
Oh, well,
breaking news here on the podcast, Andy.
Yeah, we don't want to go there, but that's great. That is a great park. And I think you're right. As we go to the park, certainly over the next couple of years, we'll see lots and lots of improvements with that money that was invested by our community. community. Final icebreaker question. You are on TikTok a lot. I think Drew's a wannabe TikTok star, but can't quite figure it out. I'm not a wannabe TikTok star, and I definitely can't figure it out. Help us stay cool and relevant. Tell us what it is that's cool about TikTok as opposed to other platforms that old people like Drew and I are on.
So TikTok is very easy to customize. And what TikTok has that a lot of other platforms didn't have that have now, we could even go into YouTube and things like that. But going back to TikTok, I mean, it's so simple. You're able to literally search just a keyword and it'll pull up the song or the phrase of the TikTok background that you're looking for. You can edit, you can do the really, really cool transitions. It's a good platform.
Nice.
Like it's really, really good. And it's easy to share. Also, what's nice, whenever you do share something, it automatically tags like your name. So it's automatically feeding back to everything. And so you set your username to Dad Jokes Are Us by Andy.
No. That would be by Drew.
Oh, okay.
Let me just disassociate myself even further from that.
I feel like that would be a viral channel if I started that. So that's a great idea.
Drew, you said viral. I think you meant virus. But yeah, that's good.
That's great. Well, and I think TikTok, as you said, it's customizable. I've noticed it reflects people's style very well, right? If you want to do like PSA videos, if you want to do inspirational videos, if you just want to be silly and fun and prank, and he kind of has a little bit of everything. So I love, what's your handle so people can follow you?
Mindful April.
Mindful April.
Yeah.
There you go, listener.
So.
Mindful April. Well, April, we wanted to have you on as of this recording. It's just over a week before Earth Fest, which is big deal here in our community. And we'll get into the details. Last episode, we had Colleen Hufford, who's one of the founders of Earth Fest, on to talk all about the details there. And I think it's the second largest Earth Fest is in Casselberry, right? Of all Central Florida.
No, it is the biggest.
Is it the
Earth
largest?
Fest in Casselberry, yeah.
Oh, it is the biggest in Casselberry. Yes.
It's the largest in Seminole County, I'm pretty sure.
It is. I think you're right. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, you are going to be a part of that, and with the organization called Casselberry Rocks. Can you tell us a little bit about the origin story behind Casselberry Rocks?
Sure. So Casselberry Rocks was actually built in 2017. It was one of my girlfriends, Kelly Steffi. She just kind of approached me and was like, hey, they're doing this really cool thing where they're like putting motivational things on rocks and like painting them. I think you're going to like this. And it's actually I think it's the Compassion Rocks Kindness Project. I think that's like the original like name back in, 2017. Our community caught on pretty quickly. I mean, I felt like we started the group and like all of a sudden we had like 500 people. And then the next thing we know, we're over 1,000. And it's like, what? And honestly, my daughter picked up a rock. I brought it here and she drew on it. And I just thought it was really cool. And I was like, you know what? Gianna's now 7. So she didn't really kind of get into the whole rock creation as much as she is now. And so I decided, you know what? Let's have some fun with this again. I think we need some positivity. We need some kindness. We need, you know what I mean? I don't know. I could be wrong, but so I don't think I am on this one.
No. There's always a need for more kindness for sure. So the process works, I'm guessing, like this, right? You go to Home Depot, Lowe's, buy some rocks, paint them with maybe something inspirational, motivational, and then just go distribute them around the city and someone finds them and is encouraged. Is that kind of basically how it works?
100%. So what I do personally is I get these rocks from Lowe's or Home Depot. I think they're like $13 for a huge bag of them. That's not very expensive. I have a ton of acrylic paint because I have kids. I paint with acrylic paint first, and then actually I go over it with colored pencils. I use the Prismatic brand. And I mean, the white and the yellow and the orange is just so contrasting to all of the different colors that you can put on it. So you can do them black and white. You can do them different colors. The kids draw. I have a ton of examples that the kids have done with the huge rocks. I mean, they just like go to town on it and they treat it like a canvas. Does that make sense? Like
that's great. It's building creativity. I wondered as well if you had some sponsorship. You were dropping some names of the paint you use there. That was cool.
Well, it's clear that this is a trend that's been going on for several years. I feel like you'll go to a public park or a public space and you'll see the rocks like sitting on the corner on a handrail or something like that. Let me ask you two questions. One, April, what is the most unique place that you've ever found one of these decorated rocks? And then number two is, have you ever met an interesting person or have a story from your sharing of rocks around the community?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So the first, we found a painted rock and it was a Dr. Seuss rock. Oh my gosh. It was so awesome. I mean, it was like the red fish, blue fish. I think that's the Dr. Seuss character it was, but it was painted so beautifully on this rock. And that was actually at the Space Coast. I'm pretty sure at Rotary Park, because that's usually where we go to watch rocket launches. And me and the kids were just having a fun time. We were just sitting there watching the rocket launch and, hanging out. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way, it's a rock. And it was funny because I guess the people that just dropped it were like, they kind of like scurried. So you could like hear people kind of like running away. And I was like, no way. It was kind of cool. So yeah, that was Brevard County. I did re-hide that rock so somebody else could see the beauty of that one. And I guess actually one of the neatest people that I got to meet was this gentleman, man, I don't know what to call him. His name is Eric. And he actually worked at a pizza kitchen locally, like making all these like really cool things for, I think it was a F&D, wood-fired pizza. But he would just make these creations of pizzas. And on top of that, he would make these creations of rocks. And his rocks were so beautiful. Like, and it's funny because I follow him on social media now because I'm intrigued. Like, you make these beautiful rocks and you make this amazing food that he always shares. Oh my gosh, I can't get away from food. But yeah, his rocks were probably just, I don't know, I have a loss for words.
Oh, well, I guess he's quite inspirational. That's cool. Yeah. So I do have a question that I wonder about. Are there any kind of legalities around this? Like, I mean, I guess if you throw the rock through someone's window, that's probably have
some kindness.
But I mean, does it kind of violate any littering laws or anything like that? I guess I don't know. I mean, you'd have to get caught, but
yeah. I would hope not. I haven't encountered anything like that. But then again, I mean, like I buy my rocks. I'm sure if people think about just kind of taking them from around town, that's probably not a good idea. But yeah, I don't know. I know I've left some at Casselberry. Nobody's ever said anything. And I know they knew they were mine, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I do know as well that the police have actually found some rocks that have been dedicated and put together in honor of them. And so the fact that they're enjoying those suggests there's nothing illegal or untowards going on. So Casselberry Rocks is going to be at Earth Fest this Saturday. Tell us about why you want to be there and what you like about Earth Fest.
So this is going to be, I think, like my fourth or fifth Earth Fest that I've actually like had a booth at. And I tell you what, there's nothing like our Earth Fest, to be quite honest with you. This is probably one of my favorite Casselberry events, which I like a lot of them. But I really feel like they put on a special show for the area to showcase different things, such as, like the recycled art and things like that. So I really feel like it's just a really great way, like I said, just to showcase some of the talent that we have locally with, I mean, my goodness, what was it? One of the years they had the largest collection of plug-in vehicles. I don't know what they're called. I'm so sorry. You have to excuse my ignorance on this one. But we had, the largest electric cars showcase. I don't even know I don't know what car shows are called. I'm so sorry.
I think they're called car shows. Oh. Yeah.
I was looking for a technical term.
Yeah. Maybe it's shows of cars, but it does involve the word car and show, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to jump on that, there another first, I believe one of the years I attended, they had, several hundred butterflies. Do you recall that?
Yes.
They released like hundreds of butterflies out into the community, which they talked about all the value that added to sharing, the nectar from flowers and all the good that butterflies do. Yeah. Is this the first year that Casselberry Rocks will be involved, April?
I think it is. I want to say that Casselberry Rocks, this will be our very first year to do this. Yeah. We've done a couple other events. That's why I think I'm confused.
Okay. And what will your booth specifically look like invite for all the guests that come?
So hopefully we're going to have a lot of greenery all over the place, nothing but positive quotes, a big, huge sign that actually I want to get some kids involved. I have a bunch of paper. It's like a roll. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Can you tell I don't know anything technical terms? Like a roll of craft paper. There we go. Now I'm getting it. I used it as tablecloths at one point. I know that sounds weird, but I would like to make a banner that does say Casselberry Rocks. And I would like to start adding the kindness, because I do feel like Casselberry does rock kindness pretty darn well. So
yeah, that's a great idea. You could maybe do a kindness pledge or something like that. Lots of
look
have
at
people
this.
sign their name around a commitment to be kind to one another and give them a rock or something as a part of that. But, yeah, well, April, time is against us as it always is on these interviews. But I would love for people to come and meet you and say hi to you and your team this Saturday at the Earth Fest. But should people not be able to go, of course, you got a Facebook page and all that kind of social stuff. Could you let folks know how they can like and connect with Casselberry Rocks?
Absolutely. So first of all, please go to your search bar and type in Casselberry Rocks Kindness. You will find our group. It'll show up pretty automatically. There will be an event shared there as well. I've heard that it is dedicated in rows, so you can look for us on Bohemian Row, I'm being told.
Okay. Makes sense. That fits the theme for sure.
And please come out. I'm going to have tons of stations for you guys to make your own rocks and take it home and things like that. So please make sure you're there. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This has been fun.
No, well, we appreciate your commitment to spread some kindness. We would encourage our listeners to get out and about around Casselberry, go to some of the parks, look in some of the hedges and find some of these rocks. But April, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you for all that you do to build our community.
April, thank you so much for your time. We are thankful that you exude kindness, and we're looking forward to the Earth Fest and seeing Casselberry Rocks booth and all that's going to be there that day. Andy, that was an encouraging talk. We've got uplifted spirits. Would you close us out soaring as high as an eagle's nest with our closing quote? Did you get that reference? That was an Office cut in there. No,
totally missed it, but I'm sure
that's all right.
I'm sure you enjoyed sharing it. So that's the main purpose one of the purposes of the show. All right. A little bit of inspiration to close. Thomas Jefferson said this. He said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find that the harder I work, the more I have of it." Do you like Jefferson's tone here? I suspect there's a little bit of sarcasm in life. We do sometimes need a little bit of luck. I'm not a big believer in luck personally, but I do believe that there is a God who loves us and orchestrates things for our good. But I love what Jefferson says, though, when he says the harder we work, the more we have of it. Diligence, discipline, thoughtfulness, steps of action, all things that create for us a little bit of luck. Relying on luck is a horrible strategy, and relying on luck often makes us lazy. Laziness and luck don't take us where we need to go, but often hard work, due diligence, and good discipline do. Once again, Thomas Jefferson said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it."
Excellent. Thank you, Andy. And listener, we hope you have enjoyed this week's episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast. We can't promise it to be true, but we can't promise it not to be true. If you give us a 5-star rating and review, you may get some good luck this week. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, we cannot do this podcast without the help of the lovely and talented producer, Robin Koeppe. We love you, Robin. Miss you today on this episode. Listener, would you go check us out on our Facebook page, Instagram, or website, all with the name What's Up Casselberry. You can find us wherever good podcasts are found and click the subscribe button to make sure you get the new episode every Tuesday. We hope you have a fantastic week. God bless. See you next time.